How are you guys doing today? Awake? Who was here yesterday? A little bit less crowded today, huh? That's usually how the second day goes. My name is Adoryan. I am an alumni, technically. I'm an alumni of Ohio State, but I'm also an alumni of the Center for the Study and Teaching of Writing, which is the department here that's putting on this conference this weekend. So I'm pretty familiar with how this goes, and I was actually the technical director for the first DMSW 2 or 3 years ago. This is now the third year. So the first year I was technical director, and then last year I presented, and this year I'm presenting again. Turns out Facebook isn't going away. So it was a pretty easy topic to pick to start talking about this week. A little background on me. I graduated with degrees in economics and English. So I have kind of a diverse background. I spent my last year at Ohio State working for the CSTW. I was doing their digital media, social media, technology classes. Kind of started from scratch there and just learned stuff, and then was working with professors, PhDs, and students grad students to put together workshops to help teach ourselves and teach each other and learn all this technology that we're all supposed to know, right, in order to function now. I currently work with a law firm and a few other companies to do their marketing and digital media. I do websites and website design, social media, all the stuff all the buzzwords everybody's talking about with business that everybody needs to know. So I kind of have a business background, but I get to bring in all the digital media stuff that makes businesses so powerful these days. Yeah.
Twitter handle so we can tweet the word.
My Twitter handle is, see if I have at Modern Footprint, if you want to look that up. But I'm on Facebook, so that's what I'm using right now. A little background about my business. I've been doing marketing and websites for the past year and a half. All of last year I produced a legal news talk radio program out of Cleveland, which was on Saturdays 3 hours a week, hosted by an attorney with one of the law firms that I work with. There's a lot more that goes into radio these days than just sitting in front of a microphone, websites and audio and video production and all those things. So that was kind of an adventure, and you can find Real Law Radio online as well. That was a one-year project and a one-year grant that I worked with, so that was all of last year. The best thing to look for, though, is Modern Footprint, and then I do have a Facebook, and that's Web Annie, and you can look that up too. There's a few of them, but mine is the one that looks like a footprint, so it's easy to find. And I would love your support there. So, who saw The Social Network this year or last year? Some of you? Yes, it wasn't exactly a documentary. It was kind of a melodrama based on Facebook, but it was more fun to watch than probably the real story. The truth is, Facebook is a pretty incredible platform, and it's just grown over the past 8 years or 6 years that it's been around. And I've been a member since January of 2005, so just about when it started getting out to public universities. I was a member when I was at Miami University, the first place that I went to. So we all love using it, and there's a whole lot of words that we can use to describe Facebook. You've probably thought of these a few times when you use it. It can both be stupid and great, fast, tedious, overwhelming, a necessity, and a bother. So it's hard not to use all of these words when you describe it, but it would be really wonderful if we could limit it to just a few things, the things that we really want to do. Communicate with our friends, share photographs, talk to friends, talk to family, talk to friends, and get updates on the stuff that we do like. And be able to follow those without being inundated with advertisements and sales and updates and too much information from people that we barely even talk to anymore. So we're going to kind of learn how to do that today. I will put a disclaimer on my presentation, though. While I know that this is a digital media conference, and we're talking about social media, I think that this might be the only presentation this weekend that it teaches you how to do anti-social media. It teaches you how to actually limit what you're putting out there, limit what you're talking to people about, and limit what kind of stuff you're being sent as well. If you did every single one of these tips that I'm going to present to you today, you would have a very limited anti-social Facebook account and wonder why you would even have a Facebook account. So what I'm actually preaching here is moderation. So you pick and choose the things that you actually want to do and not follow all 10. So we're going to start with probably some of the most interesting or the most annoying. and this is one of the first things, especially if you're just signing up for Facebook, that you'll want to do. Stop receiving email and text message alerts. As soon as you start interacting with people, you get inundated and your inbox gets filled up with an email saying somebody wrote on your post. Well, somebody commented on the post and then somebody liked that comment and then somebody liked the comment and posted it and shared. You're going to be on Facebook probably once an hour, every hour if you're that addicted, or when you get home from work. There's no reason to be bothered by email alerts and text message alerts. And just to give you an idea, there are over 72 different things that Facebook can update you about on a regular basis. So unless you need to know about every single one of these things, every single second that they're happening, there's no reason to receive email and update alerts. What I have for each slide and each kind of tip is a brief explanation of how to execute each one of these things. But I also have handouts that you guys can take at the end. So if you want to make notes, that's fine. But I have it written out because this isn't anything that's easy to kind of visualize without going through it each way. So stick with me and then I'll give you the directions as we go on. This is probably one of the most important things to know. When you go on Facebook, every time you're presented with your news feed. That's updates from your friends and your organizations and any pages you're fans of and any groups that you follow. And they tend to clutter up your homepage, your Facebook homepage. For example, people like NPR, Doug Dangler, he's been updating like crazy this week. So one of the best things to do is you can actually stop receiving updates from any one of these organizations and still follow them or still be friends with them. What you'll see is a very secret X. Hold on, let me see. Oh, is that showing up too? Sorry, guys. So I presented directions on how to do each one of these things, but again, I can give you a printout that'll teach you how to do it as well. Here is one of my favorite ones. Get rid of some friends. I have on my personal Facebook somewhere in the range of 670 to 700 friends. Some of these are people that you don't talk to. Some of these are people that you met once or twice. Some of them are ex-boyfriends or girlfriends that you have no reason to talk to or follow because it's really almost torturous to pay attention to those types of things. It is a catharsis sometimes to be able to just clean out the types of people that you follow. But at the same time, what you're doing is eliminating the people that are updating your page or commenting on page. And it's giving you some kind of privacy as well because you're not putting information out there to all these people that you forgot you were even communicating with on a regular basis.
Does it tell them that they're no longer a friend?
It doesn't, no. No, I mean, because I go in there and I had a friend who I was helping set up her Facebook account, and she would have friends and then they would disappear. Well, she was really stressed about that, and the truth is there's no reason to worry about that. You have friends that you met at conferences or places that it may be that they have eliminated you from their Facebook, but they may have eliminated their Facebook account. They may have changed their privacy settings so nobody can see that they're even on Facebook. There's a lot that goes into it, so it's not anything to really worry about. It's just something that happens. And they can't see it, so they are not sent an alert or anything. So it's kind of nice to clean out the types of people that are seeing your updates every day. All right, these are the things that you were talking about, and these are probably, if you want people to just stop communicating with you. You can stop people from searching for you on Facebook, you can stop people from friending you on Facebook, and you can stop people from messaging you on Facebook. Hold on, let me see if I download this, if we can just open it as a PowerPoint. Do you guys have any questions? What is the thing that annoys you guys most about communications on Facebook?
The people who go to these survey places.
Mm-hmm.
And so-and-so has a question, answered a question about you. And you get 10, that he's asked a question about 10 of your other friends.
And my recommendation would be to not ever, click on those types of things. Besides being a waste of time, they're not always safe for yourself or your computer. Let's see if any of these will open. Farmville. We'll get to Farmville. We'll get to Farmville. An interesting note, Facebook just launched Questions, which is their new platform usage or whatever. While it's kind of interesting to see like which one of your friends would pick Ross or Rachel, you know, like in the ultimate fight of who won on the Friends debate, it's also a pretty incredibly powerful marketing tool to use to gather information from people who are on Facebook with their knowledge. So, come on.
What about the issue of viruses? We knew somebody that had Facebook, and he claims, and somebody else said that they got a virus from Facebook. Is that something that...
I think it does happen. The best thing to do is to do a Google search and learn, you know, what the threats are and what you worry about. I recommend not clicking on anything that looks suspicious or from anybody that you don't know.
So it's like an email structure in the sense that it could download onto your computer from it.
I think it takes control of your Facebook, but I'm not an expert on that type of protection. So, we could spend a whole day talking about privacy settings, or 2 or 3 days talking about privacy settings and how to adjust them and keep a track of them. We don't have time to do that today, but the privacy settings is a great way to control all of the things that you need to do. We talked about stopping messaging and friending. Your account login is here, and your privacy window looks like this, and at the top you have connecting with people. And even though you're on Facebook to connect with people, you can prevent it from connecting with people by doing these few different things, which are getting messages, being friended, and being found in searches. All right, this is another thing that I recommend for privacy when I do those classes as well. What I recommend above all, just in general, is to keep people from searching for you on Google, Bing, Yahoo, any of the public searches. The first thing that comes up when they look for your name doesn't need to be Adoryan Facebook. You know, that's not the ideal situation. Most employers and most professionals know that people have Facebook accounts, but it's not necessary to put that right in their face. So I like to keep it from, you know, that even being an option. Let's see. This is a privacy settings window again, and it's at the bottom left. I'm sorry, guys.
Would you make that same recommendation for privacy settings for a person or a personal brand?
I leave mine open. Like, you want to be found. So my company, Modern Footprint, you can find it if you look it up. I think my website comes up first now, which is very basic, but Facebook comes up as well, and that's the type of thing that you want. So, but then at the same time, you need to control what you put on there. You don't put personal information about yourself if it's for your brand alone.
Or especially if you have young people.
Public search. Yeah, you would want to restrict your public search. All right, this is really important if you like going on Facebook at work. When you go on your Facebook webpage now, they've integrated a platform that allows you to do instant messaging to anybody that's also on Facebook at the same time. But what you have is an option to opt in or opt out of receiving or sending messages. When I go on at work and I'm doing something like posting a blog post or an update for our firm, it's always really interesting to see other people in the law firm are also on at the same time. Now, I'm Facebook friends with them, so they know that I know technically, but you tend to forget who you're friends with. So you'll see at the bottom of every Facebook page is this little chat button. And if it has a green light, it means you are on and it is visible to other people that you're on Facebook right now. So I use it periodically. I talk to my friends on there. It's a pretty informal way of communicating. But if you're using it during work or class, it's always pretty obvious that you're talking, that you are on your Facebook homepage. So a great way to do that is just hit chat and options and go offline. For a long time, I left mine offline all the time. And that's fine to do as well. There's no reason to turn it on and off. If you never plan on using instant messaging on Facebook, there's no reason to turn it on at all. But it is a big red flag if you are trying to conceal when you're not on Facebook. I think the funny truism is that even though you're on Facebook to socialize, it doesn't mean I actually want to socialize right now. And that's your go offline directions as well. All right, we talked about stopping people from posting on your wall. For a lot of people, posting on your wall is the reason that you have Facebook. That's how I communicate with my friends, and we talk all the time and put up funny things. But you can't stop people from completely posting on your wall. This is especially important if you are applying for a job or would like to have a Facebook, you want to be able to really control what kind of stuff you're putting out there. So you can post, you can put up links or websites or updates, but nobody can comment on them. If you share a semi-professional and a social network on your same Facebook page, it's important to prevent your friends from commenting on things that you might not want co-workers to see as well. You can turn this on and off, so it's something that you have complete control of as well. It's just a matter of when you want to leave it that way. Oops. Things others share and friends can post on my wall. All right, here's another thing I think a lot of people should do. Dislike some stuff. You don't have to like everything. Here's some other things that you should realize. Not everything is likable. You don't have to like everything. And you don't have to like anything. Facebook changed their platform about a year ago to let people, instead of joining groups for things that they like or want to be affiliated with, they can actually just like them. And you push a button, and we've seen how much easier that is if you've used the platform at all. But the truth is, you don't need to like everything. But everything you like is going to send you updates, feedback, everything that they see. And if they're a business, like the businesses we've talked about, they're going to do it pretty often, three times a week or so. But it's not necessary to receive all those things. So it's always kind of nice to go through all the things that you've liked, organizations or events or whatever, and kind of clean out the things that you are no longer interested in receiving updates from. There are 3 different ways to do this, which makes it kind of complicated, but also easy. This is your edit profile page. When you go in, you can edit your profile to say what sports you play or what movies you like, and post them and or eliminate them. So you can either X them out, click on them here and remove them, or go to show other pages and it'll give you the list of tens of pages that you've liked without even remembering that you clicked on it. You can go ahead and eliminate those. While you can hide their posts in your wall feed, sometimes it's nice to just go through and get rid of them. It's also not a bad idea to get rid of things that may or may not reflect well upon yourself. If you do, share your Facebook page with coworkers and friends, there's no reason to be a fan of the Jackass movies if you're trying to present like a professional face to somebody. All right, and we have secret number 11. So this is the big reveal. Is that one of the best things to do on Facebook is block stuff. You can block people, you can block apps, you can block invitations. And that is also on our privacy homepage, and it's right at the bottom. And it has a little red dot so you know to look for it, but I'll give you directions as well. It's one of the best ways to keep things off your Facebook that you don't want on your Facebook. And this is where we get to Farmville and Mafia Wars and online pets and every other application that you're being sent stuff to do that you have no interest in doing or ever hearing from and would like to pretend doesn't even exist. On that page where I showed you, you can block users, block app invites, and block event invitations. But the secret to blocking apps, to really just getting them out of your life and not having to worry about them again, is going to those pages, and at the bottom left-hand corner it says block app, and you can stop receiving invites from anybody, anything about them for the rest of your Facebook career.
Can you do certain ones, leave some blocked and some?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't block all apps. I play Family Feud, but I don't want to hear about Farmville. So that type of thing. But I also block updates from anybody else sending me about video game, games or stuff or whatever online. The most powerful thing about this is that you're really controlling what kind of stuff you're being sent. You're controlling what you're being bothered with and doing an a la carte, picking and choosing what you want to participate in. The truth is that each one of these things takes a little bit of time. You're going to come up, it's not anything you're going to go on your Facebook and say, I'm going to change all of these things right now. You kind of cultivate it over time. I went on to my news feed this week when I was preparing to talk about this stuff to see just who I had blocked from my news feed, who I'm still friends with, but who I didn't want to get updates from every day. And I had over 200 people. That was in the course of 2 years. I hadn't realized I had blocked so many people's updates from not bothering my homepage. And after looking at that, I realized I don't even know where I know these people from. And that's when I went through my friends list and started eliminating some of those because, I don't need to hear from them. It's not, a disrespect at all. It's just there's no reason to be connected to that person anymore. So clean it out, and you kind of have a much more efficient working Facebook, and you're not putting out information that doesn't need to be out there to people that you don't know or talk to anymore. Do you guys have other questions?
If people send you a friend thing,
Yeah.
and you don't want to, if you deny it, do they get that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That happens pretty often. I get requests from people pretty often.
And I don't even know where these people came from.
Right. If you deny it or decline or whatever, they don't get an update. The only way they would know is if they went back to you and requested to be friends and it shows up. So it does happen. It's not anything that, you know.
Can you explain that in more depth? Because I don't have Facebook, but yet I've had a few emails come by, maybe 2 or 3, that say, will you be my friend?
Right.
Of course, I can't be their friend because I'm not on Facebook.
Right.
So if I get Facebook, what happens? Does that mean that they will know that you could have accepted their friendship? You follow what I'm getting at? Because to me, I can see some things where you might hurt people's feelings if you just...
I mean, I would think they do. I've had people go, well, I requested to be friends with you a long time ago, and I was, well, I'm so busy, I must have missed it. There's the opportunity to offend somebody, but they're not being sent a notice that said you didn't accept their friendship. If you're being sent emails, if you're not even on the platform, it's unlikely that if you don't have Facebook at all, it's not like you have it but chose not to communicate with them.
Then when I get it,
Yeah.
Facebook, then that's a different thing, right? In other words, they will know that I didn't take them.
If you get a Facebook platform, but you can block it so people can't friend you at all. Friend you, verb.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would look through the thing. I mean, people might ask, but usually you just, and the easy answer is, I'm really only on here to be an observer. I don't, share that. I don't really participate in Facebook like to communicate with people.
So,
and that's usually an answer. I mean, people accept.
So then if I do that, I can go to Facebook on businesses and
Mm-hmm.
libraries and things like that and see what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I love following my friends, but I also follow TV shows that I like, newspapers and magazines that I like. And by following things, I actually get content for the blogs and other things that I write for. So I like getting updates from businesses. And I always like to hear the creative ways that they take current events and tie them into, whatever's going on with their business as well. So, but there's no commitment with anything. You can like something and dislike it, and it'll stop appearing on your Facebook as well. So my final thoughts on this are, you could obviously use every single one of these steps and shut down your Facebook completely almost and put up your picture and a little bit of info about yourself and use it almost as a home page rather than a communication tool. But the best part is Facebook is an incredible communication tool, and it's a great way of sharing photographs, information, getting information from friends and family, businesses that you want to hear about, or television shows that you like. Because there's just so many options now, we really have the opportunity to pick and choose what we want to hear from and what we don't want to hear. And so I think that the most important thing now is taking that little bit of time to make the changes that you need to the interfaces that you use on a regular basis to keep yourself from wasting time or getting distracted or just seeing things that you don't need and cluttering up a life that is already cluttered by a digital world that we're kind of constantly in tune with. Do you guys have any other questions? Go ahead.
I know there's been times when I've gone to a friend's page
Mm-hmm.
and looked at a picture and it links to another friend that links to another friend.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon you're on somebody's page that you don't know.
Right.
Is there a way to keep that from happening to yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of privacy settings. And you can go through and say, like, friends can see friends of friends. You want to look for anything that says that. When I teach privacy classes, I recommend spending a good amount of time, say an hour, going through your privacy settings at least once and understanding what you're looking at and then setting them, taking a week to see how it kind of interacts. And then I would check them every month. Facebook actually comes up with different things. They're not trying to trick anybody. They're just trying to make their interface better. So I usually recommend people going through privacy settings once a month to kind of make sure that if you're especially worried about what content's out there, that what's out there is pretty limited. So, just a second.
Yeah, a lot of us have different lives, the personal, the professional,
Yeah.
and then small businesses. Would you recommend just having separate Facebook pages for each of those so you can set all these privacy settings differently? Or is that too much?
Technically, I'll tell you this. Technically, Facebook limits each person to one account. However, I have several email accounts and I have several Facebook accounts. they know that's going on. I would recommend separating them. I have one for my business, that's Web Annie, and then Modern Footprint is a fan page. But then I have Annie Adoryan, that's my social one that I post pictures, communicate with friends, follow television shows, that type of thing, you know, and really have my privacy settings really strong. But then I don't worry about what I'm communicating with friends. With my business, I have my privacy settings relatively low because I want to be found and be able to interact with everyone. But at the same time, I'm not putting up that I like, you know, certain TV shows or certain movies or something that would reveal more about my character than I wish to reveal to potential customers or to people in my community. Do you have a question?
Yeah, is there anything out there for somebody to start with, like a third-party discussion on how to use it, sort of like what you'd call a Facebook for Dummies or something like that?
There's books and stuff, but...
There's actually a Facebook for Dummies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But...
Well, I will have to get that.
But it's out of date.
Right, right. So here's a story. Books are wonderful, and for things like big software programs that really take a lot of time to learn, they're great. But I'm a self-taught tech nerd, and everything I've learned has basically been through websites, forums, online. So if there's anything you have a question for, you're probably not alone. And the best thing to do is search on Google and find a not a chat room, but a page where people are posting questions and getting answers. Workshops. That's the best way to learn about things. I use WordPress a lot, and if anybody knows anything about the WordPress community, there are a lot of questions, but there are also a lot of answers out there. And by looking online, you get free information, and it just takes a little bit of time to kind of read through and understand what you're looking at.
Okay. Well, I was just, it seems like this can be a very complicated type of...
One of the other things I recommend is lynda.com, is lynda.com. It is an incredibly powerful tool. It's a tutorial website that has thousands of videos about every software and software program you could want to use, including SEO, web analytics, Facebook, Gmail, PowerPoint presentations, basically anything that you could want to know. There's tutorials on it. That's a paid basis, so that you can do it. You can do a trial run and try it for a week or 2 weeks, however long it is. But I have a paid subscription that I use for my business, and I've learned how to do everything on there. So.
Well, one thing I could see, this is very good for the elderly that, you know, maybe can't really get out or something like that, and they want to stay in tune with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anything that addresses that situation specifically for them?
The best part is becoming a part of fan pages, but for example, my mom she works second shift, so she doesn't have time to call people in the evenings to talk to them, but she posts and writes messages on Facebook. She actually uses Facebook to do send messages, which are private, basically email messages on Facebook. It's good for that. I mean, it's good for socializing. The best thing to do is look for the fan pages that have people who are actively commenting. Start a conversation, communicate from home. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Anything else? What else? Any other fun Facebook questions? Yeah.
What's your best practice for keeping your wall clean?
Keeping your wall clean?
Do you recommend?
I block people, and then I go through and eliminate the people I don't talk to anymore. Oh, keeping my wall clean, personal wall?
The wall, yeah.
I actually have, and this is a little bit more difficult, but if you set it up, it's very useful. I have a profile, like you can set up groups of people. So I have 650 friends, for example. I have about 50 that I communicate with on a regular basis. So 600 of them are on a limited profile. You could set up specific privacy settings for a group of people and then allow others more access. So 600 are on limited profile. They can't comment on wall posts. They can't see wall posts or personal information. They're limited to a very basic amount of information that I put on my Facebook. And then 50 of my friends have access to everything. So if you look up setting up limited profile or setting up groups of people, that's one of the most powerful privacy tools that I've learned how to use. And usually when I add a new friend, I put them on limited profile right away. And that's just a group that I've set up for, you know, associates, friends of friends, that type of thing. So. Any other questions? Yeah.
Do you know if there's an easy way to import pictures from Picasa into Facebook?
I don't know about Picasa, but I've used iPhoto. But photos is getting much better in Facebook. Uploading has gotten faster. Tagging has gotten much easier if you tag friends and family. If you haven't done it recently, I would try again, because I do a select all and it'll upload. It takes, yeah, geez, I just uploaded 200 photos and it would take 20 minutes. But that's 200 high quality photos. So it just depends, depends on how much you have. But I don't use Picasa, but the other thing to do is look for a Picasa app. Just search that on Facebook and see if there's a thing. iPhoto has it, which is for Mac, and I just select the photos on that and it sends it right away. So
I've never searched for apps on Facebook.
if you just look up Picasa on Facebook and see if it gives you a fan page and see if it's an application, it'll list it, each one. All right, you all set? All right, thank you guys so much for listening.